when I came to the building, one of the things that I did is I met the June before I was going to start and talked with all the staff and just asked them three brief questions. I said, what's the one program going to Sunrise that I cannot touch and needs to stay exactly where it is? What's the one thing that if you could change, you'd tell me here, this would be a good change to make? And then what's the one thing I have to know about Sunrise to make myself successful? And when it came to that first question, what's the one thing that has to stay in place? They all talked about that communication as a staff, the things like the Thursday morning meetings where everybody gets to share and be in the know. The EAs felt that was so important that it wasn't just the wellness mentor who knew what was going on or the teachers. Now, we obviously have layers. The wellness mentor doesn't share things that are confidential, but the things that need to be out there, we all discuss. And I became aware very quickly during those Thursday morning meetings that REAs were getting information from students that they would never share with teachers, that they would never share with the wellness mentor. And so they were giving us such vital information that made everybody's job so much easier. So as Grassline's waiting to booking you guys and getting more into the collaborative response model, I felt like Sunrise was already started that work. We had those things in place. And as that evolved a little bit over the last few years, and we started looking at, okay, so with this collaborative response model, we need to look a little bit more, less about individual students and more about groups and pedagogy and what you can do in your classroom that will help a number of students. We talked about that at Sunrise and said, that's yes, and we're willing to do that. But my staff were unwilling to give up those Thursday morning meetings. And so we have continued to do those with great success. We just have a Google document with every child's name and the dates, and we have someone each meeting who takes notes. And as soon as a child gets talked about, in it goes. All the staff have access to that so they can pop back to remember, what did we discuss? Where are we at? And yes, I mean, I understand sometimes we do wind up talking about the same student week after week, but those meetings are less about, okay, let's problem solve and what do we need to fix, but more about here's the information you need to know. Here's what's going on in this student's life and why it might look like A right now or why B is not happening. And we share that stuff, and it's just been so vital to the success in our building. And I think it just allows us all to know our kids so well.
Join us again to continue to build your own capacity and leading collaborative response in your context.